Now, this question actually is for all of you. How do you encourage students to ask questions? I mean, now you are an instructor. You want students to ask. You want to encourage them to ask. If suppose they don't ask, what are the means that you let them ask? Yes, brother.
Well, sometimes I try to tell the student that I know you, I remember you. You are maybe my best friend, you know, or you are my best student sometimes, okay? So I'm asking you sometimes, I want you to tell something.
Good.
So these are some of the techniques sometimes I try to use to inspire the students and to ask.
Thank you. Yes, brother. انت رفعت ايدك لانك. Yeah.
At the beginning of the course, I encourage the students to speak. So my classes is discussion, it's open, so I cannot speak all the time. They have to speak with me. They have to ask me a question, and I have to ask them a question. And from the beginning, I let them. It doesn't matter if your answer is wrong. It has no relation with what I'm talking. There is nothing wrong. Just
Good.
say what you think. It's about what you think. So I encourage them from the beginning to speak. And after 1 or 2 weeks, I start seeing their answer makes sense. Then they start questioning because they encourage.
Yes.
They don't fear to speak in this class. So at the end, all the things is about discussion. The class is discussion, not just me speaking.
Yeah. Okay.
That's encouragement for them to add.
Thank you. You encourage them by discussion and more discussion. Yes, brother.
I believe that I have to inform the students that if you share through questioning, through giving questions, this will help in your assessment.
Good. So you put it in the grading system. Yes, madam.
I've had a strategy that I found very useful. Depending on how often I meet the students, I draw a tree, or I have a poster of a tree, and then I tell them that the roots of the tree is what makes our class grow. Okay?
Good.
And whatever apples on the tree is the outcome.
Hmm.
And I tell them that the root is the questions you ask and the suggestions you make to make the classroom better. And at the end of, I wouldn't say each session or each week, it depends on how often I meet them. I'll give them sticky notes and I'll have them ask whatever questions or make any suggestions or anything they need, and they'll stick it on the root of the tree. So this way it's less, they're less pressured. They don't have to speak up because sometimes they don't, or it's anonymous. They can ask whatever. And then I take the questions and I take whatever suggestions for myself, and I take the questions and I ask them. I read the question and I answer it out loud, so everybody is.
Very good. So it's a simulation part. Yes, madam.
One of my courses, I give the students, I give them incomplete story for the patient. So they have to ask the questions just to answer.
To know what is next. مشاركة? Anything? Yes, Doctor.
By asking the students frequently during the lecture, by asking the students,
Yes.
they got the point frequently during the lecture session.
Yeah, very good. You ask students first. In the last session, we had one of our colleagues, he wanted to make a comment. And I told him to wait towards the end of the whole program, and I'd like to please ask him to come and hear and say his comments, whatever he wants to say, in front of you, gentlemen and ladies. Come please, Dr. Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, I'm thankful to our trainer and to my colleagues who presented their work in answering the question, how can we deliver, how can you deliver in your classroom session? Actually, my comment was investigating, am I right or wrong? Actually, from our respected trainer.
Thank you.
as a matter of fact, the question was, how can you deliver in classroom session, in your classroom session? Actually, it is all my own point of view. It is completely about the teaching strategy, the way we teach. And the way we teach is actually related to the learning outcome, whether we want to deliver knowledge or skills. If I'm going to deliver knowledge, then I will rely on making lecture or something. I will start, as we have learned already, I will start with a story or asking question, inspiring question, or whatever. Then I will learn to know. I'm trying to use the suitable teaching strategy or teaching method that will be suitable for delivering knowledge. If I am going to deliver skills, professional skills or practical skills, then I will rely on the way, which is learning to do. Then it depends completely about the learning outcome. So it's really important from my own point of view, is it right or wrong, to start with the learning outcome. If I'm going to deliver knowledge or skills, irrespective of the different types of skill. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Thank you. Appreciate it. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Dr. Muhammad is saying that it depends to whatever is in my mind, whatever I want to deliver by the end of the section or class, what are the outcomes, and based on that, my delivery will be. Is this correct?
Yeah, that way is correct, but how we put the question is basically, as we try to understand here, that we are motivating our students. Whether
Yeah.
it is a knowledge, you are just delivering knowledge, or you are trying to make them learn certain skills, okay, whether they use their hands, they use their mind, or they use anything like this. The question is, first of all, that you need to motivate the students.
Yes.
So if I go back to even that particular triangle, okay, in that triangle, when you said knowledge, skills, and attitude was there, right?
Yes.
But I think that that time we took it like you are asking that how much percentage of knowledge is in your course, how much percentage of skills. But I think it should be that for a person, like a teacher, whether I need some knowledge, I need some skills, and I have attitude to teach. I think that is that triangle, okay?
Yes.
Maybe now, based on certain courses, depending on the outcomes of the courses, accordingly we may say that certain things there are skills. Now I have certain attitude how to teach like that.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Rauf. You are right. You are correct from that perspective. Yes, brother.
I think I remember the answer, or the question was about our experience, how to deliver.
Yes.
And each one of us has shared. And I remember my answer is similar to what he said, but instead of focusing on one skill, normally, I don't know about the methodology, but if you see the curriculum in our college, normally the outcomes contain more than one ability or skill students would take and be able to develop, build, so it's not only a single.
Yes.
We have many outcomes, and we normally focus on delivering these outcomes to the student. And we have, let's say, continuous assessment to measure these outcomes during the semester until the end, to make sure that we are delivering them all.
Thank you. Okay, my respected audience, let me tell you how I was educated and trained when I took the training course. And I'm using it in my classroom. Now, of course, we have certain outcomes. They are set from the very beginning. But each course, whether it is a training course, lecturing course, a speech, workshop, while coming to that course, to the location of that course, before coming, what are the things that the student or the attendees are expected to learn by the end of that thing? So based on that, I designed or redesigned my delivery accordingly. So Dr. Muhammad said that it depends. Yes, it depends. To what are you going to give? What you are going to have by the end of the course or the session or whatever it is. So assuming that I'm coming to give a 50-minute class, and in that class we have chapter 5, section 2. In chapter 5, section 2, I have to give the students this and this and this ideas to reach to this and this and this outcomes, or sometimes one single outcome. What is the best strategy to reach to that outcome so the students can get benefited of my lecture? Similarly, if I have a lecture, or if I have a seminar, if I have, for example, training course, what are the things that, especially, in our classrooms, we know our students, and we know their capabilities, we know what they want, we know what we are going to give them. So I know, in advance, exactly what I am going to give. Therefore, I design or redesign my strategy according to what exactly the outcomes are going to be. Did I answer your question? Is it clear? Thank you very much. Thank you all. Okay, gentlemen, we stayed here and we found how we encourage students to have questions. And let me give you the question cycle. There is a cycle for a question. We ask the question and we wait for a period of silence. It depends to the question difficulty, to the question to whom I asked. Is it for everybody or is it for a certain person, where he or she can digest the answer, the question, and prepare the answer. So I have to give that period. Otherwise, what will happen? The message will not be reached and it will be reacted rather than responding. So there is a difference between, as you know, reaction and responding. The third one, we have to simplify that question if it is not understood, or if I feel that it's difficult. Then the student answers the question in his own way. Then a period again of silence till he finishes his answer and I understood all what he said, and finally we discuss the answer if needed. Sometimes we don't have to worry about once I receive the answer, that's it. As I said, some of the answers yes or no, some of the answers yes, no, maybe. Now we have to see. Some of the answers, some of the questions are open. Some of the questions are controversial. Some of the questions are controversial. Therefore, we have to discuss it further and further. So this is the cycle. We have to complete the cycle. Of course, this may take 1 minute, 2 minutes, sometimes seconds. So depending on the question, difficulty, complexity, to whom the answer is directed or forwarded, and to the answer, the type of the answer, the complexity of the answer, or the ease of the answer, and so on. So this closes the questioning style. Now let's talk about the presentation skills. Again, when we talk about presentation skills, I'm not teaching or training students how to do the presentation. This is another thing. Now, how to present whatever they have to present, how I do present the things that I have to present. The presentation should be clear, concise, simple, to the point, complete. If one of these is not, satisfied, then again, if it is not simple, complicated, it will not be perceived in the way it should be, and so on. Now, when we talk about presentation skills, what are the advantages of presentation skills? In general, when we put it as a skill, as a classroom skills, in this context, they are promote language proficiency. The more we speak, the more we get used to the language, the more we practice it, the more the less complexity, the less difficulty we'll have. So the proficiency will be higher. The more we talk, the more we learn. And most of us in this room are not, English language native, maybe all of us. But by practice, we get learn. Still, we are learning. Nobody can say that I reached to that top level of English or language proficiency. We are learning. Also, it promotes self-confidence. The more I practice, the more I feel that I can do it. Of course, at the beginning, there are some difficulty in the language. I remember when I was maybe in the second year, freshman year, I used to formulate the question. It takes me time to formulate the question before I ask the instructor. Therefore, I used to miss some of the points while the discussion is going on. I want to, formulate the question, is or was, had, will have, or have, and so on. That, leads me to miss. But with time, with experience, of course, that comes, as I said, unconsciously. Correction of errors and immediate feedback. The more you give presentations, the more you present yourself, the more you present material, the more you have less error, because if you made an error, next time you will not do it. If you did it next time, do it next time, the third time you will not do it, and so on. Again, that helps to assess the level of understanding. That's very clear. And it gains excellence, preparation, and skills for future. Now, as I told you, the student of mine that he had a problem of talking, he graduated from KFUPM, and if a student graduated from KFUPM, he can present himself anywhere in the kingdom and maybe elsewhere. He can present himself, he can gain the job, much simpler than students who are, less educated. Because we have 1 year, complete year, I think like what you have here, one complete year of called orientation year or prep year that concentrates on English. And we do.
Our students also can present anywhere.
You can present anywhere. You can do it. No, okay, you are right. Sorry for that. Okay, remove it. No, you can, you have a good student as well, but I'm talking about KFUPM. Your rector is a KFUPM student, by the way.
This is our university.
Your rector is my colleague and my mate.
Inshallah, someone will be from here, there, inshallah.
One day, inshallah. So, there's no doubt. Okay, gentlemen. More interaction with the classmates and instructor in the class, out the class. They can have more interactions. And finally, build a leadership competency. The more we speak, the more we talk, the more we present. It's not only presenting yourself. It's not presenting the material in the classroom. It's presenting yourself to the universe, anywhere. Okay. Now, these skills can be in this format. We have to say that it is not easy for some students, especially in the beginning. We have to appreciate this. We have to acknowledge this. And we have to consider it while discussing with the students, while introducing the material to the students, while assessing the students also, evaluating them. The language barrier is there. So we don't have. I remember one of my colleagues, he has a bad handwriting. And he loses some points because the instructor could not read his handwriting. Is it his fault? Yes, it is his fault. But the instructor should consider this in the evaluating and in the assisting. And I think, especially when we write in English, sometimes we miss some points, I, E, it's read differently. Okay? So it's not easy. We have to acknowledge that there is a language barrier. We have to consider that. We have to know that peers are not listening. Usually peers do not listen to each other. If I'm asking a question or I discussing something to a student, he may respect me, and he may, at least say that I am an instructor, he has to listen to me. But when they are talking to each other, sometimes they don't respect each other, they don't listen to each other. So this is another challenge that we have to consider in our things. We have low learning potential for some of the students, so they don't have this capacity, which is presentation skills. So our aim here is to build this thing with the students, within the students individually and collectively. And if we use this one, I think you will be happy, they will be happy, and the outcome will be achieved. It is sometimes time consuming if you want to concentrate on this. As I said, if it is not intentionally done, and we start talking about presentation, you go and speak, he goes and speaks, she goes and speaks, and comes out, and we waste our time only for presenting the same thing, the same idea, the same concept. So it's time consuming. Therefore, it should be used wisely, intentionally, purposely, for certain purpose, for certain goals. Now, how to encourage students to apply these skills? We need some contribution. How can we encourage students, like asking questions? How we encourage students to present something? Yes, madam. Put in the curriculum. Okay. Do some presentation for assessing as well. How can we do it?
We can put grades. The students.
Yes. Good. Yes, put some grades for that presentation. Put some loads, for example. Yes, else? Fadal.
I think you should be an example for them.
Exam?
Yourself, you should be an example.
Yes, you have to play a role model for them.
I learned how to present from when I was in the English school. They give us some courses, and we've seen our teachers how they present to us and how they keep eye contact with everyone. They speak around all the room. So you should be the first example, and they will mark you after time. They will try to do what you do.
Yes, thank you for this.
Also, we should give them feedback. And when they present in the classes, of course, most of our courses we have presentation. Students should present. You should give them feedback in a proper way. So,
They should learn.
yeah, they should do that. They should keep eye contact. They should move. They should raise their voice. Keep to the point. You should be, as I said, an example for them.
Thank you. Fadal.
Usually ask them to visit their ideas in different way rather than just talking or to speak using multimedia, using.
Yeah, unofficially. I mean, it's not, I mean, a certain format. Very good. Yes.
We should also allocate some time during class time if possible to have students practice or work on presentations together with one of their peers or in a small group so that they can practice, and by practicing they lose some of the shyness, and by the time they
Exactly.
get in front of us they will have enough confidence to present their ideas and make valid contributions to the course too.
Yeah, thank you, sister. This is a very good way. I mean, they have to, their peers they start with, then they can talk before everybody. In my skills course, we had before one training session called presentation skills. And we used to tell them, do this, and do that, etc. Then we canceled that. Said, okay, now from the first week till the 15th week, I'm going to give you the way to present. And by 15th week, you have to do it yourself. How? Just show, I mean, see me, observe me. And I tell from the very first day that we have 5 presentation skills you have to keep in mind. And please record them, follow them, observe them, and write them somewhere. Then you practice them. And we have 3-4 presentations during the semester, and the last one is graded. The one in between is not graded. What are the 5 things? First of all, the hands. They have to be used. They have to talk. They have to synchronize the speaking, the eyes with the body. Number 2 is the eye contact. So each and everyone in the class should feel that I'm talking to him. Therefore, everybody will be alert and everybody will be with me. The eye contact. Number 3 is the position. we usually free the area in front of the students. Because, I mean, if I am staying in the same place, like I'm staying in front of the camera, I mean, the same angle will be having with me, right? Same angle. From here, it is 45. From here, 45. This is 30. This is 90. But if I'm moving this way, the eye contact, I mean, the location-wise, I mean, the angle will be changed, and also you will move with me, and again, we'll have what is called the anchors of thinking. So I talk this story when I was here. I talk the other subject when I was here, and the third one or the fourth, and so on. So there is also the third one is the space. The fourth one is the engineering of the voice. I mean, my sound should be go high, sharp, when the things is very important. And I should be calm and quiet when I'm talking, like personally, and like, you know, I want to influence somebody or convince him on something. And the last one is the subject. Subject should have a good flow, starting, intermediate, and the final. It should start and should end very strong, should have a good start and good end. So these things I said in the very beginning, and during the course I just remind them, as our colleague gentleman here, he said, that he learned from his student, from his instructor. So presentation skills is the thing that we should practice. We should let students, I mean, practice on this. Like asking questions, reading a composed topic. I mean, these are the ways we can encourage oral, spoken talk. We can have multimedia using various media, visual, audiovisual, etc. These are the means that we can encourage the student and use them to let the PowerPoint presentation. It is not actually reading something, text from the blackboard or from the screen. It is just presenting the things. It's not reading. And maybe you have seen some of the presenter that they write maybe the full of screen with words and lines. And there are also skills of how to do the presentation. I think everybody knows about this. 6 by 6 or 7 by 7, 6 lines with 7 words, or sometimes 5 by 5. Colors should be not more than 3, and so on. So there are some skills and some format how to do the presentation efficiently and successfully. So if we ask the student to try these things, but not every class, I mean once a time. And long planned presentation if it is, I mean, like by the end of the course, like especially when we have a capstone presentations or the final year presentation. Some educational or training sessions or lectures should be, I mean, specialized or made especially for the presentation skills. These are the ways, some of the ways that we can encourage the student and ask student to do the presentation. Yes?
I would like to add something.
Sure.
In KFU here we have, there is something you have to adapt and evolve to presentations. For example, I know that KFU you don't teach gears.
We don't, yes.
Here we teach gears, and the environment here is it's difficult. We have to go to the female campus, and you have to stand in front of a mirror, and you see yourself, and the girl is behind this mirror, and you have to present. It is difficult to be honest.
It's a problem.
It is a problem, but
We have to challenge it.
for myself, I can do it, and lots of my colleagues is doing it. But as the chairman of the department, lots of colleagues come to me and say, "Please, I cannot do it.
Yes.
Please, I cannot go and speak to myself here." So sometimes I cannot force them, and they have to find someone else. So this is one of the things you have to do is to evolve and adapt to the presentation environment.
Yeah.
Eye contact is missing, absolutely, and which is one of the important things as far as these methodologies, teaching methodologies are concerned.
You are right.
So this skill is missing.
This part of the skill is part of the skill.
Sorry, our team here is very lucky we have this sort of mirror. You know, sometimes we use video conferencing, which is absolutely horrible and painful. And you don't know, sometimes you just start lecturing and you discover yourself you're doing a lecture for another student, not your student.
Yeah, for your comment, We have a colleague. We have a co-educational from this semester. Yeah. I don't know how they are going to manage it, but I think we have some. We have to work on it. I mean, it should be. It is universally. It's not there. Okay. When we talk about presentation skills, they don't differentiate that it is. I mean, male, female, etc. Right? We have to respect the regulations. We have to respect the heritage and all things. We have to manage ourselves. We have to challenge these things. Of course, we will not get 100% of the benefits. We can get 80. We can get 70. Whatever we can get. So we can manage. Yes.
That's what I said earlier, that I'm trying to recognize the voices now.
Yeah, not everybody like you, Dr. Rauf. I cannot locate myself, not like to locate others.
Even today, you put me here at the front and the girls were there with the eye contact and I felt nervous today, because I'm not used to this now. I'm used to that screens now. I think that way now we have managed it since last 10 years or so.
Anyway, we have.
It's a problem for the girls. Sometimes
I know some of the girls they say.
students, they have to present and they have opportunity to see us, ask us, come to our offices. But that's the problem for the girls. When they present, I don't see them. I don't know if they keep eye contact, if they keep their gesture right.
It is a barrier. It is a challenge, and sorry to say, it is out of. I mean, the content of this. We cannot manage it now.
My comments,
Yes.
we have to adapt and evolve.
Yes.
Personally, about us, we already adapt.
Yes.
We can deliver our courses and mashallah, good results.
Alhamdulillah.
With the girls, and our girls is doing a great job. They have
We don't know how we are going to do it with KFUPM. I don't know.
we can visit you and share.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Okay, gentlemen. Now we go to the other, skills, which is thinking skills. Thinking is nothing but opening this tool. Open this tool. This is the most precious, important tool in the world. And at the same time, it is the most complex tool in the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this, and it controls everything in our bodies, in our behaviors, in our, emotion, etc. But how to use it? How to use these skills in our classroom? It is the simplest way. It is the simplest skill that you can use. Just to trigger the mind, open the mind with a question, with a story, with an action, with a fight, with anything, but purposely. Purposely. Now, please look into this picture, focus, and think for 1 minute, and please write 2 comments. Write down 2 comments in your handout. Look into this, focus on this, and try to get 2 comments on this. Any comments, either from what you see in your eyes or what you see in your mind. Al-basar wal-basira. Either what you see in your eyes or you see in your mind. I want you to write 2 comments, 2 useful comments out of this picture, and to present them. Ten seconds. Okay. Volunteer, number 1. 2 comments. Okay. Let's. No, واحدة. One more by one. Yes. Yes, madam.
Irrelevant structure.
Irrelevant structure. What the second one? Wait. تنتين جيب اثنين. Busy. Yes. Too much information. He is analyzing. What did you say?
For me,
Hey.
I said too much information.
Too much information.
Different knowledge or information.
Different knowledge or information.
Organize the things. Not in a sequence.
Not in a sequence.
Organizing something.
Organizing something.
No clear instructions to it. No clear instructions to it.
No real
No
instructions.
clear instructions on what needed to be done. Like what do I get out of this?
Okay.
Clear instruction.
It seems like you don't know where it starts and where it ends.
Where it starts, where it ends. Anything else?
It's just, to me, it seems like there's mixed information. I'm a language teacher. I know nothing about numbers and class, but that's the way it looks. It's just mixed information over there.
Mixed information.
If this is a class role, I think even the position of the instructor is not good.
Okay, the position or this location of the structure is not good.
He's focusing something.
He's focusing. هاي في شيء تفضلي. The blackboard is not enough. Never enough. Good. Good. أحسنتي.
If teacher is standing like that, it seems that he's not understanding any of the things written on the board.
Yes, the instructor himself is not understanding. Good. Okay. Anything else? شكرا. منكم ما سمعتوا. أنا هلخص لكم اللي قالوه كله بكلمة واحدة بعدين. Yes. تفضل.
Yes, sir. This written material is produced by human, by handwriting. So the brain of humans can produce, reproduce, deduce, and analyze complex things.
Very good. Yes. Can you repeat whatever you said without looking to what you write?
Yes.
The human being brain can analyze, reduce, deduce, produce
Complex things.
complex things. Very good. تفضل. Piece of chaos. Yes. تفضل.
I have two things.
Two things.
If this is a teacher, my comment is not the part of the information. He is the way to deliver the information.
Yes.
If he is a student that's confused, a lot of information.
If he's a student, he's confused. If he's an instructor,
He is not the part of the.
he is not a part of this.
Yeah, he has another job.
He has another job. Yes, doctor.
There are two statements.
Yes.
One of them is optimistic and the other is pessimistic.
Yes.
Firstly, I'm in a big mess. I cannot choose. The second one, you have so many figures. You have so many ways. So don't lose hope.
Very good. تفضل.
He has expressed whatever he has got in his mind and is trying to find a solution to some problem what he has.
Yeah, there's a very complex problem. He used all his information, put it in front of him, and he's trying to study it. Good. Yes, else. تفضل رؤوف.
He's thinking where to write the next part of information.
He doesn't have a space to write the other information. Huh? Good.
The next information, either he's looking for some eraser to remove this.
Yeah, maybe, yes. تفضل.
Search for duster.
It's for
Duster.
eraser. Okay.
It seems to be he's an expert in NASA or something, working, solving some problem.
Yeah. Mathematician. Okay. Any other contribution? Okay, gentlemen. I mean, we are expecting different answers, of course. And what I heard, the ladies here, they look into because they are visual. Although I know that they are not visual, they're audios. But they look into the picture itself. And some of the colleagues here look behind the picture. Look at that, we have so many information for a complex problem, and you will start analyzing it. No, whatever, we don't have in this case, we don't have correct answer, we don't have bad answer, right? All the answers are correct. And this is why, how can we trigger sometimes the attraction? It will take only 1 minute, 2 minutes. You don't have to wait till everybody answers all the questions. You take one or two and tell them what is the purpose of this. So this is actually brain, not storming, brain triggering. Okay? So this is one of the things that we can, skills that we can use in. So the thinking skills, we have different, of course, we have creative thinkings, we have problem solving thinkings, we have critical thinkings, and all of these we are using actually in our, all the courses. We are using imagine, right? We are using invent, we are using change, design, create, we're using improve, again design, refine, find. In all our courses we use these verbs. These verbs are nothing but thinking, whether they are critical thinking or creative thinking. Categorize, list, sequence, rank. So whatever you think about any verb, if you use it skillfully, we can use it in these thinking skills. Yes. Fadal.
I don't know if you agree with me, but I believe that some thinking skills, they are gifted, not inherited.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the engineer Zoha Hadid, I think she is gifted with some, especially in the creativity side, I think she is gifted a lot in some skills.
Yeah, I worked on this subject actually deeply. The giftedness and the creativity, they are different. They are not the same. Okay? Now, the creativity can be learned and can be practiced. And if it's there, can be improved. The creativity is nothing but looking to the thing differently, right? And finding solutions that was not found before or modified, the old solutions. Now when we talk about publishing papers, right, it should be genuine. Usually say, what is the originality of this publication, right? Sometimes they accept 30% of all paper to be republished. If it is 30%, up to more than 30% not genuine, it is accepted. But when we talk about creativity, we have, 4 or 5 characteristics. One of them is the originality. Then the detailed, and we have the things that we talk about. So creativity, I think it can be learned, it can be gained, it can be improved. The giftedness is something else, the inherited. And, thinking to me is nothing but opening the mind. And like starting the car. If you have a car and everything is there, fuel is there and everything is there, but you didn't start it, it will not function the way it should function to let you go to the station where you want to go. And this tool is used for vision, right? But if you close it, it will not function. Same way this mind. If we don't open it, it will not function. Therefore, when we talk about thinking is nothing but letting this piece of tool functioning. Anyway, so the thinking skills, when we use it in our classroom, we mean that we will use it, for generating either new ideas or new strategy or new way of delivering the course. It's nothing, deeper than this. And how to apply these skills, and we talk about the things we can use. Focusing is nothing but a thinking skills. You ask them to focus on something and give answers, because at the end when they have the exam papers, the students should have, before study, they should focus and they should understand these 3 things. If they don't study and focus on what, understand what, they have to study first. But if they don't focus, even if they study, if they don't focus, they will not solve their problems. If they don't understand the question, they will not. All these are thinking skills. So these 2 things, that is focusing and understanding, are most important for students, and we have to just implement them put them in their minds that they have to focus and they have to understand. Unfortunately, especially in the orientation students, the first year, they have more memorizing than understanding, because they bring these things from the high school. But in university, they should have more understanding than memorizing. So organizing the things, analyzing, compiling, generating, connecting, all these are some terms of, or some ways of thinking, where we can implement them in the course. Okay, note-taking skills is a skill that is good for students to follow you while you are talking or discussing the things. They put the notes, and it's a strategy, it's a skill by itself. It has its own forms. There are some formats. What to abbreviate. Abbreviation is a note-taking skills, taking the main points of the lecture or of the speech is again a note-taking skills. Using colors or markers is a note-taking skills. You don't have to write everything. You write only the things that can trigger and can recall, make you recall the information. So we can give them, give the students some hints practicing on how to do it. So while listening, they have to do this, follow this strategy. While reading, they have to follow this strategy in the note-taking skills. And note-taking skills is good not only for in class, but after the class. After the class, they can prepare for the homework, solving, and for the exam preparation, and so on. Now, how can we encourage students to use these skills? Again, we can ask them to write. Of course, we are in the university level. We don't, take their copybook and just check whether they did it or not. This is not the practice in at least university levels. But at least we can tell them what are the benefits of note-taking, because they cannot read the whole chapter, which is 20 pages. But if they take the notes themselves. Unfortunately, now there is a trend that the instructors give the PowerPoint presentation to the students where they read from them directly. And the more problematic that if the exam questions come from these notes. This is actually a disaster to a student and to the learning process as a whole. Alaikum assalam.
Yeah. I've got an announcement for just 1 minute.
Yes, announcement from Mr. Yahya.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. There is an announcement, please, concerning the evaluation form that is going to be sent to you by email. There is an evaluation form for each training program you take. It will be containing two links. One link, an evaluation form for the services, and the other for the training. And it is connected also to issuing your certificates, which will be given to you after Eid prayer, Eid al-Adha holiday. So please make sure to make that evaluation, to fill in those evaluation forms that will be sent to you by email. And your certificates also will be issued after Eid, inshallah. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for disturbing. Thank you.
Shukran.
Sorry?
It's compulsory.
Yeah.
Either you do it or there is no certificate.
Yeah, that's right.
Emails after each of these.
Yeah, support, yes. Yeah. So after each training, just go to your email, check, and you'll find those emails in your inbox. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry for disturbing you.
So, assalamu.